Okay, so in this video, take my 45-year-old steering wheel from my 78 Corvette and make it look like this for around $10. I found some extra super duper really nice paint called Satan Midnight Blue, and it matches the Corvette blue from 1978, the dark blue, pretty amazingly. So I'm able to use this steering wheel for now. Looks way more gooder than I thought it would. This allows me to concentrate on other projects, and I'll rewrap it in leather another day. So how did I get it this far? Let's take a look. So this is the before. You can see it's pretty pretty bad looking. Look at all that. Ugh. This is not good. The bottom isn't terrible. It's still in pretty rough shape. But you know, all this looks phenomenal. It can clean up really well. But just, you know, this steering wheel, doesn't matter what I do to improve the interior of this Corvette. When the steering wheel looks like this, that's not good. It doesn't matter what else I do. People will see that steering wheel and go, yeah, this vehicle has problems. But the back of it, you know, looks fine. Anyway, but yeah, while I got the steering wheel out, I thought, well, see, it's pretty bad. All right, you get the idea. That's just about enough, and now finally enough. You get the idea, it's bad. Okay, with this steering wheel, I'm going to start by using some medium steel wool and buff these out a little bit here. Start with the back side and just kind of, well, you can see that really just cleans that up, puts that shine back into it, makes it look brand new. Wow. Okay, that's fantastic. I'm probably going to end up getting just a whole new steering wheel eventually, but I don't know. They're so expensive. I think they're at $300, $350, and I thought, well, I spent so much money on this Corvette this year already. I'm trying to get ready for the Mid-America Corvette show, and like I said, I've already spent so much money. I don't want to make it look like I don't want to make it look like I hired Joe Cheapass to help me out, and, you know, sitting there at a car show and somebody's like, you know, oh, he and Joe Cheapass rebuilt that Corvette. Wow, really? Geez, who could have imagined? I don't know why he keeps hiring that Joe Cheapass guy. I don't want it to look like that, but I just spent a ton of money on custom embroidered seats. And so I just can't do all at once, you know. I can't do everything all at once, all in one magical year or something. My daughter and I have been working on this Corvette for years, the both of us together, and there's a big Corvette show coming up, Mid-America Corvette, getting ready to celebrate their kickoff to their 50th year. And I am going to bring this Corvette there. So if you see this Corvette there in the year 2023, in case it's years later and somebody's watching this, but if you see this Corvette there, say hi. I would appreciate talking to you and showing you the Corvette. And if you're familiar with my channel, you've seen all the things that we've done to the car. But I'd love to talk with you if you see me there in 2023, the Mid-America Corvette show. Um, I'd love to completely get everything done before then, but I don't know, for now. I rebuilt the dashboard to save money to get the embroidered seats, custom embroidered seats, but I decided next year I'm just going to put in a new dash because the dashboard turned out okay. I'm happy with it, but I really want to take, at the car shows with this Corvette, I really want to place, maybe not number one or something, but I'd like to place in the top three or something. So I wanted to be pretty pristine. So back to this project, the steering wheel. This steel wool is really buffing this out, and this is making this look so much more gooder. And I've always wanted to kind of work with leather. I saw a YouTube video where a guy took an old steering wheel like this that he literally found at a junkyard, but saw that it went to a Corvette or something sought after, and he rewrapped it in leather and sewed all this. Did a phenomenal job. And I'll probably never be able to find that video again, but it made me really curious. It's just because I love doing craft projects and stuff that I'm half tempted to one magical day, rewrap this in leather myself. That would be cool. But for now, I'm going to rework it the best I can for a bit of a time crunch, because the amount of projects that I want to get done between now and the end of the year are just piling up. And so some of this I'm just going to have to do it the best I can and come back one day and redo it a little better down the road or something. Okay, but for now, wow, just simply buffing that with some steel wool, some medium grade steel wool. Wow, what a difference. Wow, I am excited. I'm excited to see how this son of a biscuit eater is going to turn out. I didn't think the steel wool would clean that up that well. Okay, that's great. The rest of the steering wheel looks like crap, but we're going to see what we can do about it. All right. I redid that too. Okay, so it's the next day. I only worked on this a little bit yesterday and get some painter's tape ready because I'm taping off these spokes, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to sand the leather and paint it with some special paint that I got. And I'm really curious to see how it turns out. We're going to find out. Because here's the squillio dealio. After talking with my wife last night about what I was up to here with my project, she's really got me talked into putting new leather on here. And I would love to do the project. I've never done it before, but I've always kind of wanted to. I'm super excited to do that. Whoever, I don't have time right now. So this may be a splatter ass thing to do, but I'm actually going to paint for now and come back and redo it next year, because I just don't have time for so many projects. All right. So I'm masking all this off. What I'm going to do is screw this to a 2x4 probably, and then mount it on my outdoor workbench, and then prime it and paint it. But I got to sand it, but I'm not going to sand it smooth because I want it to look like leather. Okay, I've got it ready. I'm going to sand this a little bit here. Like I said, next year I'll be making a video where I wrap leather. This year I'm getting ready to install the dash. I'm getting ready to rebuild the seats. So, and I want to get everything ready for the Corvette show. So, time-wise, this is the best I can do right now. So, that's the way it is. Okay. So I'm going to start with some 60 grit. I'll go a little finer. I'm not trying to get it glass smooth, you know, or it'll look weird. But there's just a lot of loose things that could flake off, and that's what I'm trying to get rid of here. And once I get done sanding, I'm going to clean it all off with rubbing alcohol before I primer and paint. And I'll show you what primer and paint I'm using. And hopefully it'll look well, I don't know. You have to remember, other than the spokes, this steering wheel is pretty much trashed, so I have nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, I can either buy a new one now, start the re-leather project now, which I don't have time for, or I can put one of those cover things over it to kind of hide the fact that it's been painted if the paint looks bad. We're going to find out. Okay, so I've got all the sanding done. Like I said, I left some of the cracks. I didn't sand it down so far that all the cracks were gone. There are some, like I said, you know, this is leather. It's old. You don't want it glass smooth. At least I don't. It might look weird. But I used 60 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to clean it up with rubbing alcohol before I spray it. I got to get it mounted so that in a way that I can spray it. And I'll clean it and prime it, and I'll show you that here in just a sec. Okay, so I now have the steering wheel mounted on my outdoor workbench. If you're familiar with my channel, you've seen me use this old trailer as an outdoor workbench. And so there's the steering wheel mounted on the trailer. And I gotta tell you, it looks hilarious. Oh, my neighbors are probably thinking, what in the world is this guy up to now? Good Lord. Okay. So I'm gonna use some rubbing alcohol here to clean all that up. So let's do that. All right, so just getting all this nice and cleaned up here. Sorry, I'm looking through my camera and trying to do this at the same time. I don't have my lovely assistant today. So, and I can't jimmy my camera stand. So you can see that rubbing alcohol is getting a lot of that out of there. So I'm just going to keep wiping this down with rubbing alcohol. Gosh, you get the idea. I think I'm going to have to set the camera down and finish this out because I can't keep doing this looking through the camera. But I'm still picking up some stuff and we want to get rid of that. Okay, so this is the primer that I'm about to bring to its utilization point. And I'm not being sponsored by anybody to make this video, but just showing you. All right. And I do have this wheel where I can pivot because there's only one screw holding it if I need to. But let's get started. And I'm sorry I'm doing this looking through my camera, but it's not going too bad actually. Okay, I'm digging it. Sorry for the shaky camera, but I'm not putting it on very thick. I just want a thin coat to cover some of that up. All right, let's do some of this other. And the key to primer is don't put on one thick coat. I'm going to put on probably 3 light coats. Try to do it all in one coat, you're doing too much. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, and now for coat number 2. I'm just trying to get it light. I don't want to make it go too thick. All the neighborhood dogs are having a conversation about what the hell's going on with the steering wheel. All right, now I'm going to do the back side. That's coat number 2. Okay, and now coat number 3. I didn't know if I was going to need 3 coats or not until I started going. And I saw, oh yeah, it's going to need 3 coats. So this is the 3rd coat of primer. All right. Okay, so the primer has dried, and I'm not going to sand it. I'm not trying to get it smooth. You know, it's leather. It needs to look as such. I've still got some of the cracks in there and stuff, but that's fine. But I think it's going to look light years better than it did. I tell you, just the primer alone. I'm actually kind of surprised pleasantly. Okay, so here is the paint that I'm going to be using. It says for wood, metal, plastic, and more. By and more, I assume they mean old Corvette steering wheels. So let's find out. Oh, and the color is Satan Midnight Blue, which looks pretty close to the 1978 silver anniversary Corvette blue. It's a little windy out there. It's not too bad, but I realize that the wind is cutting into the microphone, so I'm going to say this now. I'm going to do 4 coats, and I'm going to do them very lightly. I do not want any runs. So these are going to be 4 light coats. That's what you're going to see me do next. Okay, so that is the first coat, and I'm not going to push my luck. I do not want any runs. So that is the first coat, and I gotta tell you, the color looks just like the 1978 Corvette dark blue. And this is it, and it's Satan Midnight Blue, and it looks just like the Corvette blue. That's one coat. Still coat number 2. See it I don't know if the camera can see it or not, but it's definitely picking up some spots that I missed in the first coat. Again, don't make it too thick. Don't try to do it all in one coat. Okay, so I'm starting coat number 3. And yes, I'm doing this looking through my camera, which I don't recommend, but what can I say? I love my audience, and I'm trying to make it a great video. All right. There is coat number 3. Okay, so this is the 4th coat that I'm putting on, and you get the idea. Okay, so there's the 4th coat. I just gonna let it dry out here for several hours. I'll bring it in tonight. I don't want it to sit out overnight, but I am gonna leave it out here for about 4 or 5 more hours. But I gotta say, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I can't wait to see it dry, get that painter's tape off there. This is actually turning out a lot more gooder than I thought it would. Wow. I want to give a shout out to the job supervisor who's been on site for all my projects. Chip, buddy, do you want to say hi to the audience? Come on, don't be shy. Well, this was your idea. All right, man. Okay, so this is the end result. I'm very, very happy with this, how this turned out. Wow, wow, wow. It just looks light years different. I am going to, one of these days, take all this off and put leather on it, just because I really want to. It's a fun project, but I was afraid, it wouldn't feel right or something, but it does. I mean, it feels natural. It looks really good. Now I can keep moving with my other projects. This steering wheel looked so bad before, and now it looks fantastic. It feels natural. Yeah, I'm excited. I have paint on my hands from yesterday. I just did this yesterday. It's the next day. So, but it feels good. I mean, it's solid. It's on there. It feels, honestly, it feels like leather. And boy, I'm just really thrilled with how this turned out. I'm in shock. It allows me to move forward with other projects, because before I put in new seats, new dash, that steering wheel still looking like it did. It didn't matter. People just say, oh, wow, that car has problems. But not now. This buys me a little time. I can kick that can down the road. I can put new leather on it next year now, and still